Wouldn't you know it, another episode in front of our furnace and water heater. Welcome back to the joys of moving. In an earlier video, we talked about the furnace situation. We got a lot of questions of that on why didn't you have a home inspection? We did have a home inspection, and one of the things that showed up in the home inspection that really had us concerned was a water situation. We tried to fill up 2 bathtubs. The first one was fine. The second one was black. The water was, you couldn't see the bottom when you had it this deep. That's how black the water was. There was also some reddish stuff in it. So we put our focus on that. That may be one of the reasons we missed some of the furnace details, is because we were totally dedicated to this water situation. We felt like that without clean water, we couldn't live here, period. And nobody could fix it. Drilling another well probably wouldn't even fix it. We were really concerned that this simply was not a livable situation. Later, we investigated. We had additional experts out to look at it. It turns out that I think the problem was this water softener tank. The water softener tank was old at the time. This is a brand new one. The top part here looks old, I understand, but the resin tank is brand new. So we believe that the resin tank just gave out, and the resin and all the sediment that was with it flooded the entire water system. Ended up in the bathtub, ended up in the sink, anything that we ran water. All the little screens, diffuser screens on the shower heads, on the sinks, all those plugged up, the ones that we used. So we believe this is what the problem was. Now, this water heater was installed in 2016, so we do not believe that it's old enough to be bad, but it is gurgling inside when it's heating. We think it's probably full of sediment. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to drain the water heater. One thing I want to say is this is not necessarily a how-to video on how to drain and flush your water heater. I saw some really good versions of that. This is just a story of our move and just one more step in it. You may get some tips about draining and flushing a water heater, but that's incidental. That's not our objective at all. Now, from some of the other YouTube videos I saw that the formal way to do this is to turn off the water intake to your water heater, begin the drainage process, and then refill it. And I've actually heard of this sometimes causing some trouble because you drain out really hot water, the internals are all hot, and then you refill with very cold water, and that's not necessarily a positive situation. So another YouTube video that I saw, he actually started the drainage process while the water was still turned on, and that allowed it to cool, and then he could turn the water off, finish the drain and flush process without it being so hot on the inside. I think that's the approach we're going to use. So the first step for us is to turn this from on to pilot. That will keep the pilot light lit, but it will keep the heater from actually coming on while we're doing all this work. The other thing I've already done is I've turned, I'll show it, here's where it was turned right then. I'm going to turn it down to a really low temperature. It doesn't have a vacation mode on this one, so just turn it to a really low temperature. Okay, I've got my hose attached, and we've got a 5-gallon bucket here. I'll let you see in the bottom of it. Christy went to great effort to try to clean this bucket up.
I don't usually wash 5-gallon buckets, but I did today.
Christy and I have a difference of opinion on 5-gallon buckets. I love 5-gallon buckets. I think they're useful for everything. So we used to get this detergent so that we could get the 5-gallon buckets, and Christy began to hate them.
Well, you have like 25 of them. So that's why I began to hate them.
But we had trouble finding one. But we're having trouble finding anything right now, so that makes sense too. So what we're going to do is this first 5 gallons we're going to catch. Maybe just a gallon or two. We'll see how bad it looks. We'll get the camera down in here and let you see if any sediment comes out. Afterwards, we're going to take this outside. We're going to still leave the hose in this bucket, and then we're just going to let the water gurgle over the top so that maybe the sediment will still settle to the bottom. Okay, I'm going to turn the water on right here. Why don't you look down there now? Oh
my goodness.
That's exactly what we saw in the tub.
Yep.
You can see why we might have been a bit apprehensive about moving in when we saw water in the bathtub that looked like that. The inspector didn't seem to be too concerned about it, but I suggested maybe that he have his wife take a bath in it and see if he grew a little bit more concerned, but that didn't seem to help. So that's 3.5 gallons of water right there. The first 3.5 we drained out of it.
Oh, that's bad.
Now, Christy, you can see why I prioritized this even before we unpacked boxes.
Right.
Okay, let's take this bucket outside, and you have to stand outside and drain, and I'll stand in here and watch.
It's cold outside. Baby, it's cold outside.
Christy's not a fan of the cold. I'm not really a fan of the cold either. Now that's not going to catch all the sediment because it doesn't have time to settle that much, but maybe it'll catch some of it. I just want to make sure that this water drains away from the house. The last thing I want is crawl space all floated because it is. It's not too hot. So now I've turned the water off right here, the incoming water to the water heater. I'm very happy that valve worked.
Yes.
Around here, those valves do not last very long, and it gets very frustrating when they don't work. So since I've turned that off, the water stopped running out of here, but there's still a lot of water in the tank. So what the other YouTube video showed me was I can use this drain here, and that will allow water to be sucked in. Okay, so it's like putting your finger over a straw, right? That's how they were explaining it. The water cannot come out because no air can get in. So I'm gonna trip this vent, and air will be able to get in, and water will start flowing again.
See, that's what it's been sounding like, that gurgling.
Yep. I hope this really helps it.
Yeah.
If our theory was right, this will be the last of the sediment in the water. There's a filter before the water softener. So the series of plumbing here is there's a filter, then the water softener, then the water heater. The folks believe that the water softener was the problem, and the evidence that they have is that the filter, which comes before the water softener in the pipeline, was clean, totally clean, no problem at all. So everything downstream of the water softener is the only thing that had the sediment. That's the evidence, and that was enough to convince me. We had an inspection team out from a well drilling company, and they did a full inspection of the well. They ran it for 20 minutes out here with direct from the pump, so it should have been a much higher flow. They didn't see any issues whatsoever with the well. Then we had that pre-filter, which is before anything in the system. It was totally clean. Then the water softener, then the water heater. Well, the theory is the water softener was the problem because everything downstream of the softener is where we saw the issue. We didn't see any evidence of the issue at the well or at that pre-cleaning filter. At least that's what I'm going with. I hope that we're right, Christy.
Me too.
They put in the new water softener resin tank, and since then we haven't seen any issues, so you know, we're encouraged by that. We just want to drain this water heater and flush it so that we don't diminish its useful life. I've put, I don't know, 5 gallons or more of water in this after we turned it off, and it's still hot enough I could take a shower. Here, Christy, you want...
Shower out here?
Yeah, I'll hold it like this, and you can...
No.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe I'll put a little bit more cold water in there. I just don't want it to go from hot, hot, hot to cold, 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 like your casserole dish a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and it shattered all over the place.
Besides exercising this valve a couple of times, probably a good thing. Got a comment in our prior video about the exhaust for the water heater. Now, please understand that one thing about a GoPro wide-angle lens is you can't judge anything about horizontal or vertical. It warps a lot of things. That's just a negative of these wide-angle lenses. Somebody had commented that they were concerned that this exhaust was lower than horizontal, which would have been a big no-no. And no, it's probably got, I'm gonna guess, 4 inches of slope in this 3-foot run from here to here. So it may not show that on the camera, and sorry about that, but there's plenty of slope there. I don't think there's any issue. If you still think there's an issue, don't hesitate to leave a comment. Let us know. I'm gonna shut this off now. And we'll let it completely drain. After we let it completely drain, we'll come back and we'll flush it for several minutes with cold water. It's fully drained now. We're going to leave this open and do a flush for a while. I don't know, 5-7 minutes, something like that. Before I start the flush, I'm going to shut this. I need to remember to have that shut. It won't be pleasant if you don't.
What happens if you don't shut it?
Well, once it heats up, if this were open, it would boil out there
Oh,
somehow. That's what this is an emergency relief valve. If it happens to get too hot, this is a relief valve that'll let the water out.
okay.
Now, it shouldn't get too hot in normal operation.
Are you timing it?
I'm not timing it. Are you timing? Hey, yeah, I am. It says 11:28 a.m. The flush, once it's totally empty, should maybe stir up a little bit more of the sediment and force that on out. We'll see how it goes. Hey, let's take a look at the bucket here. I brought it in just a minute or so ago, and it's not settled down yet, but you want to take a bath there, Christy?
No, thank you.
Me neither. I'm going to let this flush it for a few minutes. Then I'm going to close this valve and let it fill. We'll go in and turn some hot water faucets on so that we can let some air out of the system. I think that's all there is going to be to this job. Again, not trying to be a tutorial on how to drain and flush your water heater, although it is something you should do. Otherwise, that sediment and rust and things just furthers the corrosion and rusts out the bottom of that tank even quicker. So it's something we all should do. I've not been good at doing that at my own house, I will be honest. But this time I felt like it was demanded because of our sediment issue. Well, Christy, I don't think the sediment test was very conclusive. I'm afraid that when I left the water hose in the bottom of it, that I was washing sediment out as I was putting it in.
Could have been.
And it hasn't really settled out. But let's see if we can drain some of this. Okay, I'm going to see if I can pour this out slowly so we can see what's in the bottom. I've never tried to use this drain before. I hope it's not plugged. I notice it's all rusty. I'm sure that's from salt, road salt. I hope it was stainless steel at one point. It is nice to have drains in your garage. We had a scenario at the other house where water would stand on the garage floor and we didn't know what to do with it. We had a concrete guy come out and I asked him how I could solve that, where water was standing in the middle of my garage, and he just suggested that I drill a hole right through the concrete. So I did. I got a 3/4 inch concrete bit and drilled a hole in the concrete, and the water drained out of there easily ever since. It's a brilliant idea. He said there's never going to be enough water, to cause any problem. It'll drain right into the rocks right under the concrete. You should be fine. I like that solution. That's probably the resin.
Boy, there's a lot of it. I mean, seems like it.
It is reddish. I had viewed it as being totally black. That is probably the resin out of the tank. And if that's the case, that's actually encouraging to me, because the tank has been replaced. Now, our water heater's continuing to gurgle even after we did this drain and flush. Maybe I need some advice from you guys. If you know what I should do next, do I need to drain it and flush it again? Or is it just going to gurgle? Is that normal? Give me some advice. There's a lot of discussion about pointing the fingers. So-and-so should be to blame for your furnace. So-and-so should be to blame for this. I'm tired of that. You know what? We bought a house. There's going to be issues in a house. Does it really matter who we point the fingers at? I just don't enjoy the finger pointing and the fighting, the blaming someone else. It's just not our way of doing business. So we'll deal with it. And it's okay if it was someone else's fault. It's okay. We'll take care of it. Anyway, we try to be positive, and we are being positive here. We knew the furnace was old. We knew it needed to be replaced. So really the only change for us is that it has to be replaced immediately versus maybe within the next year. So really, is that that big of an issue? These are just the joys of home ownership. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim. love to use the word situation. Did you notice that?
Yes.